Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome to EntreChats Daily, where I'll be helping you learn the strategies to start your business so you can increase your income as well as your free time by starting the business that you love. Now, this is a new challenge that I'll be adding just on myself to do daily videos over the next 30 days. Now, just a quick bit of housekeeping. It won't be every single day. Sundays I've reserved for other things, and I'm not going to be posting videos to the channel on Sunday. So you'll get them every other day of the week, including Saturday, just not Sunday. So overall, from the time that I'm starting this, it should equate to about 28 days, omitting a couple Sundays somewhere in between there, just the way that things flow out, but we'll see. But moving forward, so these videos again will be just pretty straightforward. They're not maybe going to include as much B-roll or maybe any at all, or even background music or so forth, to get the highest level quality, but more about producing quality content, just straightforward, somewhere within the neighborhood of 5 to 7 minutes or something like that. So to save time on this video, since these are very short, let's jump into today's content. Already screwing up on video number 1, so let's get to it. So today's video is all about why I believe any employee should own a business, a side hustle, part-time business, whatever you want to call it. One of the things that I found that when people are not in a business versus when they do have their own business, is they are solely working a job. There is no other real fulfillment. You know, you have some things that are given like family, you have things that are given like your spouse and your, I was going to say extracurricular activities, but your just extra activities that you do outside of your 9 to 5. But when it all boils down, for most people, there isn't much more outside of that. And there seems to be this longing and this lacking, and causes problems and frustrations when, money gets tight, and, when it's just like, well, I don't know what to do, or what's my purpose and why am I here? So solely working a job just isn't cutting it for most people. Now, I did a little bit of research just to kind of figure out, what were some of the real things, not just my ideas on the topic, but, what were some things that just kind of tie into why people should actually have their own business and not just, work a job, especially if they're not feeling fulfilled, don't have any level of passion back of what they're doing. I looked at a little bit of research, and one of the things that I identified was that you don't have any ownership. You don't have any attachment to success to the company. And that was actually backed up by a poll, by Gallup poll. And it says that 85% of workers worldwide, they hate their jobs. And 30% of the US, they don't feel engaged at their job, AKA no passion. So that means that 70% of, or it says 30% of people, they actually feel engaged, which means that 70% hate their job and they don't feel engaged. They don't feel tied to the company whatsoever. And so it's just basically working paycheck to paycheck, simply just to make a little bit of money. And we all know that's no way to really live. So another reason I believe that every employee should have their own side business, some part-time business, that even if you do love your job, that's something that you're doing outside of your job, is to basically get back time with your family. I don't know what the statistics would be or what the numbers would be. I'm sure you could Google it and find out as much information in the world as there is to know on the subject. But just think about it. How much time maybe are you not spending with your family because you're working excessive overtime? Maybe not because you want to, but because you have to. You have little Susan that has ballet practice. You have a little Bobby that has soccer practice. And, if you have more than 2 kids, just continue to extrapolate on the fees and how much it costs for cleats and ballet dresses and gas prices and all the extra other stuff and all the nonsense. So, just getting back time with your family, I believe is super important, and it becomes so very vital and so important. And if you could have more time back with your family, what are some of the things that you would do? So let's just think about some of those things. The next thing is that I looked up some of the figures and I have my notebook, so that's what I'm looking at. I looked up some of the figures just to see what is the actual figure, what's a recent figure of how much money people have made just working a part-time job. And I found this really interesting. It says the average income of a small business owner with less than 1 year of experience goes from anywhere from $34,000 to $75,000. And so that may seem a bit far-fetched for some people to see, so I decided to play devil's advocate. So let's cut that in half. So even if you only made about 15 grand, let's say you did make the 34,000, let's just cut it down a little bit less than half to 15 grand. That'd be $1,250 a month that you'd be bringing in to your family. So even if you did not make what they say the average person makes with less than 1 year of experience, and I think it goes over $125,000 or so if you have over 10 years of experience. So we all know how to do something. We all are knowledgeable about something that we can do, whether it is managing your children, managing your emotions, managing busy schedules, managing people, but just whatever. It does not have to be something in management, but it could be something about learning how to cook. You type in how to in Google or in YouTube and just watch the search options come up. There's always something that we know how to do. So even if you only have 1 year of experience and you only made $15,000 for the year on top of what you're making on your job, that's at least $1,250 that you'd be able to get back into your pocket, time back with your family, be able to have some fulfillment and some passion in what you're doing, especially if it's something in the area of what you're good at, that you want to do, or what have you. I believe it's just so important that everybody have their own business. It doesn't mean that you maybe want to be a multi-millionaire, but I do believe that that ties into just your wanting to have a more fulfilled life, do something that you really want, build and develop some income outside of your job. So even if things drop down, if your hours get cut, or whatever the case may be, you're not so or as stressed out simply because you're relying on your job. So that's today's EntreChats Daily. Hope you'll stay tuned for the rest of these and stick around and subscribe if you haven't already. And join us for tomorrow for episode number 2. See you guys later. And as always, live with passion.